Hello, and today we will come back on a pilot watch introduced by Breguet during the last Basel World, the Reference 3817. But we will go a bit further than this and also come back on the legitimate and lesser known link between Breguet and the world of aviation and pilot watches. We generally think of Breguet referring more to some kind of traditional watch design with their signature guilloché dials, for instance, but this sporty collection is also part of the brand's history since the 1950s. So in the pilot collection, all the watches are flyback chronographs, and Breguet proposes three variants: the Type 20, the original denomination of their watches, which comes in a smaller 39mm diameter case, the Type 21 in a 42mm case, and the Type 22, which houses high-frequency escapements beating at 10 Hz and come in a 44mm case. So let's go back to this reference 3817, as it's the first time Breguet introduced such a watch with a sapphire case back. It comes in a steel case with a grey slate dial, and since you can see the movement, they placed a solid gold rotor to make it a bit chicer, and you can also see the silicon escapement, something the brand has been pushing a lot over the years throughout their collections. But now let's return on this aviation legitimacy, as we had the chance of going to Paris and visit the brand's museum, found above the flagship store on the fancy Place Vendôme, and see some historical timepieces. Breguet has been producing pilot watches since the 1950s, and they first did so for the French Naval Air Force. At the time, you really have to remember that a precise watch was not only something simply nice to have, but mastering time was really part of your flight instrument, and as a pilot, it had a direct link to the proper navigation of your aircraft. Naturally, you would find clocks directly in the cockpit, but to have a backup on your wrist was not an unnecessary accessory. But the link with aviation doesn't stop here, as the Breguet name is also associated to the pioneering days of aviation of the early 20th century. Louis Breguet represents the fifth generation of the Breguet family, which settled in France after that the illustrious Abraham-Louis Breguet moved from Neuchâtel in Switzerland to Paris during the latter part of the 18th century. Abraham-Louis Breguet is really seen as a watchmaking genius, and we owe him many incredible, innovative and beautiful timepieces, without even mentioning the fact that he was the inventor of the tourbillon. Some of these watches can be seen in this museum, as well as well-kept archives of the brand, which retraces not only who were the buyers, but also who helped the brand manufacture these timepieces, such as specialized artisans. Coming back to Louis Breguet and this pioneering dimension of the family, this man's name also deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of technical innovators, as for instance, he's at the very origin of the first helicopter in 1906, an aircraft looking a bit like the quadcopter drones of today. He continued to develop different types of aircrafts, including in 1936 the first real helicopter, or gyroplane I should say, as well as many military but also civilian aircraft. And just for info, the Breguet Atlantique is a scouting airplane that is still in service today. So now when you see a Breguet pilot watch, you will know that it's not just the addition of a complementary collection or a simple marketing coup. No, the Type 20, 21 or 22 have some pretty legitimate lineage behind them. See you soon.